Yay,
on you.
Lauren. Hi. Oh, wait, I can't find you. Where the heck are you?
What do you
Oh,
mean
there we
you can find me?
I got you. I got you. I got you. Um,
Oh, we're already recording. This is so fun. I guess I had it set for record on start.
hang on. I put
All
my ear.
right. So, well, let me do the intro then, since we're already starting the recording.
Okay.
Aloha. Welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson. I say, welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Hawaiian beaches on the beautiful big island of Hawaii. Yes, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I love that shirt.
Oh, thank you.
That is
Yay.
adorable.
It is really fun, huh? The sleeves are like
Mm,
little spaghettis.
cool.
Yay. Yeah.
Oh my God, Hope, I've listened to last week's 4 times.
Oh, how awesome. You must like listening to it then.
Well, I I woke up Sunday morning because Saturday I brought my daughter over to visit my granddaughter over to visit my mom, and my mom had an issue with my boys because at her 80th birthday, they didn't give her even a card. It was a party, but it said no gifts. It was,
Okay.
so they didn't get her a card or anything. And she was upset. She's
How sweet.
80. Mm-hmm.
That's
So I was like, Mom, what is your mind making that mean? I was like, does that mean that the boys don't love you? Well, no, but it would have been nice if they. Oh shoot! That's Holly. She's on her way here, and I don't know what happened. And now I've lost you. Where did you go?
I'm here. I'm
I
here.
know, but I don't see you anymore. Anyway, um, so you can't see me, and I can't see you now. So that's just the way. So she was like, lighting into me about all of this, and I've talked about this with other people. I feel like I failed. Oh, there you are. I feel like I failed, and I know there's no failure. But when I was listening to you Saturday night or Sunday morning when I woke up, you had just had that talked about that experience you had with the hitchhiker that
Okay.
that was telling you how to raise your kids.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh my God, I literally broke out in a sweat. I was like, oh, she just told me this on Tuesday. And it was all about just letting that emotion sit in the body, just letting it, not reacting. It doesn't mean anything. I was asking my mother, what are you making it mean? And here I am making what she's saying mean something about me.
So wonderful. Don't you love it?
Don't I love it?
That's how, because that's how it's seen through. You're seeing it to, you know, actually the root of it.
Well, I'm seeing it now, but I didn't see it at the time.
Yeah, very good. So you're seeing that you're recognizing what you're bringing to that perception is what you're bringing there. And you don't have to have that baggage within the perception. All the feelings are what you're bringing to it.
All the feelings that at that moment that I was, you know,
Yep. Whatever you're attracted to, that's what's bringing those feelings on. Whatever kind of thoughts you're attracted to, it's bringing those feelings on. So, in the moment, you can just let those feelings go, and there's a deeper relaxation. And that's really what's called forgiveness, like what A Course in Miracles calls forgiveness, anyways, you know, is seeing that it is coming from your thought habits. It is coming out of your thought habits, the feeling. You've taken perception to mean something when it doesn't mean anything.
And I was asking her, what are you making it mean?
Yeah. Isn't that for fun? And then you get all excited and upset. You know, it's just when you see that the projection is always what you're perceiving. Your projection is what you are perceiving. That's it. So when you recognize it's all you, someone can tell you some fucked up stuff about yourself, and you could just be in a attitude, a feeling, you can say, of thank you. See?
But that's not what happened. There was
Sure.
heat, much heat in the body,
Yeah.
and that triggered a complete, not complete reaction. You know, it wasn't vicious or anything. It wasn't mean.
Right.
It was just asking her to look at it I guess I was asking myself to look at it.
Always.
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 Whoa.
Always.
Oh, and it was so sweet. My father deflected. He was trying to deflect the whole situation. He goes, "Oh, look at that angel. I've never known, but this angel's been in my mother's house for years." And he's like, Look at that angel. Isn't it beautiful? I've never noticed that before." He was so sweet, trying to, stop the situation. He was very uncomfortable, you could tell.
Aw, that's so awesome. How much fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
Anyway, so that was quite the experience. So
Wild. And this is over the weekend?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it
seemed like there was some wild weekend mind energy going on.
Yes, I did.
Yay.
Yeah, yay. It wasn't feeling yay as soon as I heard, listening to you. After I was listening to you, I literally woke up going, "Oh my God, I'm such a failure. I failed at it. I totally," because you had just talked to me on Tuesday about the exact thing, and I completely blew it off. Didn't even come to me while that situation was happening.
Well, you can't blow it like that. That's not really possible because, every perception is leading there more and more. So if you resist you could say resist the path that it's headed, resist the path that's headed with doubt about yourself and putting yourself down, shame and stuff like that. It just makes everything take longer.
Yeah.
It stretches out time, it feeds the ego. So nothing is happening, first of all. And you're not responsible for expressing anything because the expression is coming through you. The more you are willing to recognize that in the midst of thinking, the easier it's going to become to see through the illusion and not buy in on an energetic level to any kind of problem, like as if it's real, even if someone seems to be having a problem with you. See? Because that's projected by you too. So if they seem to be having a problem with you, it's still up to you to see that there's no problem.
Okay. Right. She was definitely having a problem with me. This was nothing that was on my mind. It just came up out of the blue about something that happened the end of September that had to do with the boys, not me.
Yeah. But somehow you got some kind of guilty entanglement with it. That's why the energy, that's why that kind of energy.
Okay.
Whatever that is,
I just saw that I felt guilty that my boys didn't, like I wasn't a good mom, I guess, because
See, it always goes back to you. It always becomes personal like that. And it's
yeah,
like you're defending something. That's why you seem like your energy's all up,
right,
you
you were
know.
defending the boys for not giving her a card right
Yeah.
for her birthday.
Well, and the point was of her saying it was, from the ego's point of view to project guilt, to project, and if you recognize that it's just a projection, you don't have to project back.
I see. She definitely has projected guilt my whole life.
Yeah, and that's because she feels guilty. See,
Yes. Okay.
so
Okay.
then when you see that, it's like you express more from a place of compassion because you recognize that it comes from her carrying some guilt that she doesn't need to be carrying but doesn't know. So she's
Right.
trying to get it, she's trying to hide it in whatever, any kind of circumstance. Or to make wrong is always a guilty projection, any kind of make wrong. But really, it's a cry for love. It's a cry for, show me that this guilt isn't real.
Yeah.
And, that's where we're able to demonstrate that the guilt isn't real by not engaging it like that on an energetic level, So
Yeah.
it comes across like this is happening, but then recognizing that whatever appears to be happening is only happening in your perception. Number one, it's not happening to you, and two, it's for you. It's for you to see through and recognize that too is a projection. None of it's real. None of it becomes special. None of it becomes like like an idol. You can say an idol.
What do you mean by that?
Well, something that you depend on, something that you depend on for your sustenance, for instance, something that you depend upon for happiness. Like you mistake it. An idol would be something you mistake as your source. Like that could support you and uplift you for reals, or heal you. Anything like that could be an idol, because it's all one projection. Some of them aren't different than others. They're all one projection, and it doesn't matter what the evidence shows. Don't believe the evidence. Like for instance, I have one friend who was asking me why, when he eats, does he lose clarity, and when he fasts or drinks a lot of water and eats very lightly, he has more clarity. And it's like, well, because you have faith in that. It's like
Right.
whatever you have faith in.
Right.
So
Yep.
if you have faith in that, then when you don't have those certain circumstances, then there's a guilty projection.
That's just like me thinking that when I have an edible, I'm more clear. I feel more. It's bullshit. It's only because I believe it.
Yeah.
I've told myself over and over that that's what. So of course that's
different. It's just different. That's all. It's just different sensation, different perceptions, but it's still perception. And it's up to you to see that the perception is not reality. That's it. And that'll make you really happy. It could be said, and I read it somewhere today. Your only purpose is to be happy, and that's what makes you happy, is to see, because then it becomes funny. It becomes fun and funny, because the illusion is presenting itself as if it's real. It feels real. It seems real. It's presenting itself as if it's real.
right. That happiness comes and goes.
Well, it's a different kind of happy, though. It's a different kind of happy, knowing and that in the moment that it's not real, you're going to be happy.
Oh,
because it's funny. Because it's funny. It's actually presented as real and it's not real. So, automatically where something's presented as if real and it's not real, it becomes like a comedy. It's even seeming to buy into the story. It's part of the comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like right now, would you allow relaxation? Right now, would you allow some relaxation from that thought that says, this is real? Because that's the only thing that would be causing you any kind of upset.
Right.
You could only feel happy.
Believing it's real. And the reason we believe it's real is because we believe all the beliefs that are in there.
Yes, and it's one by one, okay? It's one by one. So you say like the thing about food affecting your body. That's a big one, It's like we've talked about it before, why there's no possible way food can actually affect your body.
Because the body is.
Because you see proof of that, just because you see proof of that in your experience doesn't mean that it's true. It means that you've believed it really strongly enough to make it prove like that.
Those are Those are the exact thoughts I've been having lately.
Oh, how fun.
That I'm believing it, so of course it is. Each time I put something in my mouth, no matter what it is.
Yeah. You see how it just goes. So that's one of those things where you can feel how you feel when that thought comes across. Notice.
Yes.
Notice. And then that's it. Only just notice.
Yes, I did.
Everything.
That's the time I've seen that. Now, back in the summer, it wasn't prevalent. It was like it was gone. I thought it was gone.
That happened.
What the?
It's just for fun. You can consider it something like a break.
Yeah, it was a nice break.
Yeah, and and then if you're not pissed that it comes back, then whenever it comes back, it's just going to be a fun, entertaining thing for you. It's not going to be a problem.
So I need not to be pissed,
right. Well, you can be pissed, but just observe what you're really pissed about. Once you see what you're really pissed about, you won't have a need to be pissed anymore.
Once I see I'm pissed because it feels like I've gone backwards, which is not true, which is
right.
Not
it's just to get that feeling again. There's no backwards, only forward. Every perception is leading there. Every perception is perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't do anything on your own. You're just perceiving a body acting out the fantasies that the mind's been making.
Yes. Okay. So that's been seen a lot this week or over the past week.
Good.
Yeah, I can see whatever you believe is what you're living.
Yes. Exactly. So it's like one by one, you'll see, and it's like you're given a certain kind of stamina for it too, because it's so rewarding, and that finding the joy and the peace that is yours, that comes from your center, from your core, in the midst of anything. There's a certain excitement and gaiety in that. And what I notice is when there's the experience of some strong waves coming my way, like some strong like accusations of that are really like personal accusations,
Yeah, Mother said
about what a bad person I am, and I know that's awesome, and I feel good about it. I feel really good about it, and it's like, okay, thank you. There's a thank you there for it. And then there's a welcoming, if there's anything else, like that, is there anything else? And then it's not held on to. It just
Okay.
goes away. It just comes and goes.
That thank
And here's the other thing about that, about the thank you, because I always know when something like that goes down, big shifts are coming. And you know, I make the choice whether or not and how much shift is going to be allowed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like, because it's like, okay, do you want to buy into this projection? There's like, you know, waves of information coming that you can call it temptations, right? To buy into some thought pattern, project, yeah. And so it's the choice in each of those instances, you know, that 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 dictates, you could say, how it's going to turn out, what's going to occur, you know. So it's like an allowance for whatever the energy is, and recognizing that it's a guilty projection. There's a no thank you to playing in the energy. So there's no defensiveness toward it. Any sense of defensiveness, if a sense of defensiveness arises, you know, ideally you could say it would be recognized as that.
Right. Instead of reacted to.
Right, and by feeling it, that's how you really recognize it. You feel the sensation of it. You get to know the vibration of things.
Yeah.
So when that feeling is sense, it's just allowed to be there and still standing firm in love, like kind of like standing in love, falling in love, you could say. I don't know, rising in love. Yeah, we've put it all different ways.
Which adds to the happiness or the funniness of it all.
That's what makes it funny. That's what makes it funny.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm a liar. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And it's like, and it's like, well, you know, if I'm a liar, then I'm a liar, and I'm probably not going to stop lying. So I love you. See,
wow.
it's just not. But you know, that's true for me. It's not just words coming up like that. You know, it's okay for me for someone to have their perception. It's all right for me to have their perception, whatever it says about me, whether it says I'm a great person or a piece of shit, or you know,
Yeah.
it's not really about me.
No.
That's the thing. And even the perception that they're thinking that about me and they're saying that about me is in my perception, meaning projected from me. So since it's projected from me, it's actually for me to play with. So it's fun.
I see.
Fun and funny.
I mean, you don't need to play with it if there's no reaction to it because it's not hitting somebody.
Well, yeah, and that's why it's playful. That's why it's playful and fun. That's why even something like that is playful and fun for me, because it's not serious. If it gets to be serious, I'm believing something that denies the truth.
That's not true. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's some reason I can't play with it and have fun, then that's what's going on. And that right now, whatever it is that's resisting the light, so to speak, is a sensation in the body's energy field.
Right.
So it can be addressed as that. And any thoughts that are believed, they're just seen as they are.
Untruth.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get this right. I projected my mom to say those things to challenge this idea of Lori to whether she's what she's believing about herself. What's left? And it was because with it being my mom, of course, the mom is the closest, the most, the one that's had the most history, the most what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
And you're making her like that right now, like all your projection of your memories and everything like that, all that is a projection too.
Yeah.
So you're making her into all those things right now instead of just, they say experiencing her as she is now.
Oh, instead of right, the memory. Oh, good one. Okay.
Because, it's the same thing. It's just like a little child looking for love,
Yeah.
you know. It
Mm.
really, that's all it ever is really like. But then when we attach some kind of history and memory to it and how we think it should be, that's the story that makes the suffering.
It's both of us looking for love.
Yeah, isn't it so cute? You guys love each other.
Both of us needing approval. Wow.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
Oh my God, that just hit me between the eyeballs. Wow.
Hooray!
Hooray.
I say hooray to that.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. That was a big one, really. I don't even know how big it really was, but that could make a huge shift, I would imagine.
Well, it changes the way you relate with people, but the changes happen more across the board, though. You start to see that it could be applied in all these different areas and all these different ways of relating. So it really starts to affect all the different areas of
Because she's
the
different than
mind. All the different areas, the different programs of thoughts that keep the illusion looking and seeming real.
and that's what's keeping it seeming real through the emotions, through the sensations in the body.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's keeping it seeming
Yeah, so
real.
you react to those. Well, all you're really reacting to is those sensations in the body, which are also projected, also brought into the situation based on what you believe to be real.
Oh my God, Hope.
Isn't that bitchin'?
I'm-
Are you stoked to know that?
yes, that.
Okay, good. You should
Wow. It's like I knew that before, but it didn't. It was like behind something. I don't know. It seems like it was there, but not there. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, it's like hide and seek. It's like hide and seek.
Ollie said peekaboo.
Peekaboo, yeah. Same kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Whoa, I'm actually sweating right now.
Yay.
Yes.
Holy
And then-
fire.
Yeah. Really, really, really good.
Yay.
Oh, okay. So, like, this could go on forever. I mean,
What can go on forever?
as long as this body is seemingly on this earth, this seeming earth,
Okay.
as I see that without this body, there is no earth. There is no, that's all projection. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it more clear than right now.
Yay.
Yeah, oh, yeah. So talking about this with seeming hope,
Yes.
could like not end till this body drops. I mean, what do you see where it's okay? So this is a limited.
I have no idea
Oh, no.
what you're saying.
Like, is it always? Am I always going to need more and more? Like all these beliefs, is it ever going to end?
Of
While
course.
this body is.
In this lifetime, I don't know. But you know what? It's like it doesn't really matter. like that.
Yeah.
It's that the perception is playing out in that direction already as it is, and everyone will see. So it's the ego who gets hung up on when will it occur.
Oh.
See, just let it play out. You'll see everything gets easier and easier. You know, that's how you'll know. I mean, you might see it get more and more difficult at first, but you know what kind of difficulty is like a productive difficulty, right? You know what kind of difficulty is a productive difficulty?
Well, like with my mom, that was a productive difficulty. Productive because I'm seeing clearer. Wow. I mean, it sent me into this really, really sad space. On Sunday, I was like, oh, God, the failure thing. I was talking with my friend Rob, who really helped me through it. He got me to see that I was seeing. And now you have made it even different. Wow, I don't even know yet. I don't even know how this is all.
Well, there's just nothing there, and there's a part that I see that's attracted to making problems and then figuring them out. See, so the difficulty that you think you have is an imagined difficulty, and then you employ an agent like that other dude you talked about, or me, to seem like it takes that kind of difficulty away, and that seems to be some sort of habit.
Yes, definitely. That
Like
would
it's not,
to me always reaching out for understanding.
yeah, there's a guilty belief there that's saying that you can't do it without us, and there's some kind of reaching out, and there's no problem with that. That's the other thing.
Right.
And it's not, and it doesn't need to prevent you from reaching out at all. There's no problem with it. It's just a matter of noticing what that is. Because even like getting a cup of water to quench your thirst, that's also a magic trick.
Right.
See?
Oh,
But you don't have to, you know, when you see that the magic trick is you reaching out, you'll feel you could reach out, and then also when you're not when reaching out isn't occurring, and there's no reaching out to be done or whatever, people aren't awake in the middle of the night, you know that you have it all within you. Like, I'm within you. That's why, you know, in one earlier episode, you said you wish you were me in that moment.
yes,
You wish you could be me. And I said, you can, because I'm in you. Like that, the projection, your projection of me, whatever that is, you know, your projection of me is yours, is what you're making of it. And, you know, if you weren't able to be me, you wouldn't be able to project me.
Beautiful.
So whatever, like if you could perceive whatever you perceive me as being in one of those moments, you could be that too. You could just ask for it. I mean, our minds aren't separate. Ask for it and knowing that you can, whatever your perception of that is.
Beautiful. Wow. There's a new show called Manifest on one of the. It's, oh my God, and it's about they are making this so brilliant. Oh my God, I hope I'm addicted to the show. It just started this fall, and I am just so into it. And it is coming to that. They said that on last night's episode about being all one, and it says it's happening not to you, for you. They're using our language.
Yay.
Yes, I'm like, what the? So I projected that TV show?
Yeah. It's when you are perceiving all this waking up going on around you, you're also projecting that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Oh my, it was so brilliant. Oh my God. So that's like validation for the
It's acting out the awakening. It's acting out the awakening.
Yeah. Wow.
Mind acting it out. I had one friend tell me yesterday, why is it that there's more disasters in the world than there used to be? And I was like, there is?
There is?
Is that right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't look up the facts or anything. I just I know that can only be a perception.
Exactly.
Even if you were looking up the facts. So I go, well, that's like not something that I hear very often from people. Like I don't know how common a perception that is, but that's just something that you're projecting.
Yeah. It's not
what?
Wow.
Yeah, because you want to know that whatever it is that you want to know, that's what you're going to project.
Wow.
I hadn't heard of something like that. But then what's funny? I talked to someone today who I work with. He's from California. He's a business guy that I work with. And I told him about our house being taken by lava back in May, maybe like in June or something like that. So we're doing some work together, and then he goes, oh, by the way, now my house was taken by the fire in California.
Oh, it was. He's part of the. And
he's
how
part of the cool kids now. But it was pretty funny that she told me that, and then that guy told me, it's like, oh, there's that, some things that seem to be going on. There was another thing too. I can't remember what it was, but that would validate that belief that everything's getting worse. Like you could see it all, and whatever it is you're looking for.
Right. If you're looking for that, there it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. There it is. And it presents itself to you, and it's meaningless if you're not looking for it. Yeah. Like when evidence presents itself to me, it's like it's meaningless because I'm not looking for to make it real. Basically, you cannot trust the evidence. Because all evidence is projected too. The real proof that you have is your awareness. You might say experiment. Experiment a little. Get curious about what in your body's energy field is projecting this perception right now. What is that? What does that feel like? Get curious about that. And then whatever it is, it ends up being seen in your awareness. The root of it gets seen that way. And then that thought isn't a meaningful thought to you anymore. The way you are relating, like we said before, it's consciousness relating with thought. So it's like the way you're relating with thoughts, it's changed.
Right.
As you're willing to become curious about the sensations that are causing the perception. Perception is also thought. It's a lot of thought forms. A lot of programs playing. Okay. It's meant to get your attention and get you to feed the ego with fear.
Right.
You don't have to do that, though. You can turn the perception on itself. And just in recognizing that it's impossible. You're dreaming it. If it's impossible and you're dreaming it, any kind of upset sensation, any kind of sensation of limitation, like, oh, something's wrong. I mean, the perceptions that were coming to me over this weekend would have been a cause for very much upset if I took the perception to be real.
Like what? Give me an example.
Accusations by close family members of things that, like being a liar and keeping information and I don't know what else. And it's like, since the perception isn't real, it's fun for me. It's fun. And it gives them the space to hear it. They can hear it.
Mm.
and see what it is that's really presenting itself. And everything changes. Something like that is like a setup for a lot of change. I know something's opening. I know something is opening for them, maybe even for me, you know. So it's exciting. It's like, ooh, something awesome. And whatever it is, however mean or bad or, whatever is said, not it's not taken as if it's about me,
Right.
because the whole perception isn't real, and the perception of myself is also in my perception. So it's like these kinds of energies, they can be expressed, you know they can be expressed. It's not like it's resisting conflict, any kind of conflict. No, that's basically conflict. It's an attempt to get rid of guilt. It's just an attempt to get rid of guilt. It
Now,
feels intense, and the intensity is just allowed to be intense. And then it's like, okay, thank you. Because it's like, and at the same time, it's a big no thank you. As in, no defensiveness, no need for defensiveness, no need for accusations back, no need for anything like that. No need for agreeing or disagreeing or whatever. Just like, thank you as an energy vibration. And then it's able to work itself out. It just can work itself out. And it does.
nice.
And it's like an energy that rises. That's why I love that image that happened. And so this was in the middle of it, because it lasted like Friday to Sunday, and it was Saturday when that image was taken. I posted it on my personal Facebook. What is it? That big background banner thing. So there's me, and there's a wave. It looks like it's coming towards me, and I'm like, just smiling, and I was like, wow, that image totally demonstrates how this kind of thing plays out.
No, the wave was coming at you and then it went away.
Oh, it was an optical illusion. I was watching a big blowhole. It's like that thing wasn't anywhere, like I wasn't in its path, obviously.
Yeah.
I was watching this big blowhole by the ocean, and it was magical and it was amazing. And Tony was up on another angle, and he just happened to take a picture of me, and that's how it looks. It looks like the wave is doing that.
It's a metaphor for what happened over the weekend.
It was perfect too. It was like, wow, that is so amazing. Because it's like it was such a healing blessing. The way it was given and received was a healing blessing. It was really sweet, and it's like it's a wave that comes up. There's a sense of people feeling unhappy, and then there's all this information and accusations building up, and then it goes back down. But to like an accusation of lying or anything like that, I just don't have a defense to that. Even when I don't perceive myself to have lied, I don't have any defense to that. It's okay if they perceive me as a liar. I just thank them for letting me know that's how they're perceiving me. See?
Because it just doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter, because nothing's happening, and I've shared that too, hey, nothing's happening. None of these things I can't really be doing any of those things, because nothing's happening. It's only our energy at play. It's only our energy, and if we go there, or go to that source of it right now, then we can see what is making that energy play like that. What's causing it? What's the cause of the conflicted dance?
What's the cause of the conflict?
Yeah, because it's like they say it takes two to tango. So if someone's accusing you of something and then you get defensive, then now you're in that dance.
Right.
Now there's something to bounce off of.
Right.
Okay.
But the projection was already coming from you.
Exactly. That's why it's fun. That's why it's going to be played with.
Because it's confirmation, really, that how you're thinking or processing or whatever's happening is, is spot on.
Well, it's demonstrating that only the truth is true, and in the face of this illusion that makes truth seem like it does not exist, only the truth is still true. You know, you're not buying into it, and you're not buying into it anymore. It's like everything has a healing kind of miraculous way of presenting itself.
Mm. Wow.
And the unfoldings are beautiful. The unfoldings from it are just lovely, you know. But it's that this perception, perceiving a world of separation. To perceive a world of separation, there has to be pursuit of guilty thoughts. And it's fearful to let them go because it's letting the whole perception go, like which people think automatically, you could say, like the body's tied to it. The whole world
is tied to those guilty thoughts.
Yeah, so it's like there's this drive to keep believing in guilty thoughts, like this food will make me fat, or that if I eat I won't be clear, or you know, I have to keep my job or else I won't pay my rent, you know, just like ridiculous limited things. And it's like you don't have to stop believing that or pretend like you believe in something else. Just notice that. Just notice that energy fluctuation that projects it. Be willing to recognize energetically in your body's field where all the feelings are coming, what that feels like. Like, say to yourself something like, I have to keep this job, otherwise I won't make enough money to pay my rent. And feel how that feels in your body's energy field. And just notice that. And then watch every time you spontaneously repeat that to yourself. And just notice that again. And keep on noticing what you're repeating to yourself all the time. And you know, and when you look, you'll see that most of them are judgments. So that's why a quietness, you know, like it's not so much chitter chatter. It's like a spaciousness arises because all that chitter chatter is not true. So it's not necessary. You know, it's like this program of chitter chatter on a repeat loop coming all the time, telling you like who you are and what things mean and all this different stuff, when all there is you relating with consciousness.
All the rest is bullshit.
All the rest is bullshit.
All of it causing more loop of pain and suffering inside, and then the thoughts and the stories and more just perpetuates itself.
Yeah, the stories mean nothing.
Right.
You know, like say you take food and the body. They're equally meaningless. They have no meaning. They're projections.
Right.
You make it as if food can affect your body. It makes the body real in your mind. Both of them are real in your mind.
Both of them real.
You know, which is the cause of suffering.
Yep, totally.
Any body real, you make your body real, and then that's the cause of suffering. Okay? And it's like, and it's only, it is only a guilty thought that causes the body to become denser like that. That's what I mean by making it real. It's kind of like gluing it on. It's always an upset kind of feeling thought. Upset feeling thought.
Yep.
That keeps it real.
And keeps the identification with that body cemented right there.
Yep. That's right. So what people try to do a lot is go to positive thoughts. But that doesn't really work either because it's making a negative thought real.
Yeah. Just another thought.
Yeah, like you need an opposite thought to
Yeah.
make like it doesn't work like that. The opposite thought doesn't neutralize it.
No.
It shows that you're afraid of that negative thought, and that's making it real.
Right. Oh, good. That was perfect pointing, Missy.
Thank you for making it like that. All right, I got Molly raising her hand. Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Aloha. I love you.
Me too.
Molly, you're on.
Hello.
Yay.
Hey, hi. How are you?
Welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson.
Thank you. It's a very quick question because I've always seen, like, I've always been able to match what you say to like yogic, like the Yoga Sutras and to like really deep ancient texts, and it's always like matched up. And not that that has meaning to you or not, but it's interesting because that is one thing that is said specifically, that is like to meditate on the opposite when you are swinging one way, to meditate on the opposite, and it'll bring you to the midline.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Yo, wholeness family, it's your man with the master plan.
What
your
is
boy
that?
BT coming at you.
Okay.
it sounded like Blaze.
I clicked on something. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they say in the yogic text, they say to meditate on the opposite to come to the midline.
Yeah, like that's one of the things, like,
Mhm.
like in specifically in the Yoga Sutras, which are just like brilliantly mapped out the kind of the mind, and I've always seen like alignment with what you said. Like it's helped me go, oh yeah, cool, that's like what they meant there. But that was one thing, is that there's this one sutra about like when you're stuck on one side to meditate on the opposite, and that was to the midline, which is where enlightenment is. It's samadhi. It's the equal, the center, the not pulled by opposites place.
Yeah, there's probably a divergence there with the yoga stuff. There probably is a divergence there because, it's all not true. Positive and the negative, it's all not true.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that, because what the sutras will do is like break down things. They'll say it's really not hard, it's instant, but if you want it to be difficult, here's all the steps you can take. and then they go back and say, but if you just like merge with the one right now, like you don't have to do any of that. But then it like, if for some reason maybe like is relating to the different minds that are reading it or something, because they give like different. So anyways, what you're saying reminds me that that even within that, some of the things are like, like specific things to do in the dual realm. But then when you realize none of that's real, the Ishvara, like it, then that all becomes obsolete, basically.
Yeah, when you're ready to release that much guilt is really what it is. It's the attraction to guilt that makes you seem like you're a doer, and you need something to do to feel like you're, basically imagining yourself moving toward enlightenment.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. You imagine yourself not enlightened, you imagine yourself moving on a journey of enlightenment, and then ultimately all the imagining ends.
Yes.
Isn't that funny?
When does it
funny.
When does it end?
When only the truth is true to you.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yay, I love you. Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay, so Anastasia, she had some cool, interesting questions going on here. Let's see what she got. That was a little bit, oh, I'll just look at the flags. Okay, this is fun. Oh, and Lori says hi to Molly. Bob says false evidence appearing real. Yeah, that's a fun fear acronym. All right. I wanted to talk about healing trauma with oils. Trauma is the thought of separation, but it is expressed in different emotional packages, and it's healed with love or seeing the truth. So let's say I have jumped out of a window feeling a strong emotion, and now 20 years later, I feel one part of my body is getting numb and constantly in pain due to apparent nerve compression in the apparent spine. And then I got pain and nerve. That's a blend by Miracle Botanicals, pain and nerve formula. And I got pain and nerve oil blend, and the first time I used it, I felt like it went into my heart, a specific part of it, and connected to a specific part in the neck. It showed me this, and then I went to use it later. It kind of only smelled good, but didn't show anything and didn't take away the symptoms. So my question is how to work with oils on a specific issues, what those physical limitations are covering up, and what protecting from. Okay, so first, all expectations off of the essential oils as if they can do anything. All expectations. Okay? Taken off of essential oils. That's how you work with them in the first place. It's like a curiosity. It's an openness. So many times when something seems to work for you, you expect it to work like that again. But remember, it's only a magic trick. It's only bringing you whatever it is that needs to come up for you. So if it's not, whatever it seems to be doing or not doing is awesome, you know. And it was awesome because it's like, it's as if it not working, seemingly not working, is a problem. See? It just smelled good and nothing happened. That's all part of it. That's how everything goes. It's like, is that a problem with it? How is it? Work with the essential oils like that on that particular thing. You know, questioning, why is it that I have a problem with how this goes? You know, because if there's an expectation for it to be a certain way, then it's automatically making something into a problem for you. She's laughing. Yay! So the essential oils, you can look at them as not like they're going to take away that pain, because they don't have that kind of power. They do not have that kind of power. All that power comes from the mind. It's like you imagine the pain, and then you imagine it, you know, this essential oil does something. That's a magic trick. It doesn't really do anything. We like to use it as medicine because, you know, another magic trick is we made it smell good. It smells awesome. Okay? And from playfully using it, you might find that there are results from it. You know, because there's going to be results from something. Yeah? Everything's always changing. Things get sick and they get better, or else they die, you know, whatever it is. But then there's babies being born, you know, it's like the illusion kind of like marches on like that. There's nothing to try to change about the way it's playing out. And that's one thing that essential oils are really good for. Really good for. When you open up to them like that, though, you open up to them like that. Show me that. Why is this a problem for me? Because there's only one problem being projected, one perceived problem being projected, and that's the problem that you separated yourself from God, which you really didn't do. But you think you did it, and then you made that into a problem. Is it like that I am imagining that I need to heal trauma? Yeah, you have to be imagining the trauma in the first place. See? You're already imagining the trauma. So it may be that when you tried the essential oil the first time and you perceived those effects, you gave all this power to the essential oil, which is not where it belongs. You know. It's for certain levels of consciousness, you could say it is. You know, it does belong there because that's all they can accept. They can't accept that it came from their mind. But I don't know. It seems to me that you guys are all able to get this. You don't need to believe in a magic trick, as fun as it may be. So, I don't know how good for business that is, but we'll see. Here is another example. I wonder if you can answer this without reading the details, just general pictures. I have no idea what you mean by that. We'll see what happens. Someone got drugged at the corporative party years ago and got raped by her boss. Then she got into the psych hospital with realization that they killed her. They killed her. Boss and another few people who were there. In the parallel reality, and in order for her to stay with her family out of compassion, she had to become a mental patient. She then would have out-of-body experiences, being other beings, a bird or homeless man, and now she has to be drugged to fit society. What these drugs are trying to stabilize is mental illness and effectual rape, betrayal, trauma. And is it where she needs to look? What belief led to this play out? Oh, you don't have to look at anything like in particular like that, like out in the memory, projected out in the memory. It's just right now. It's just right now. It's just only what's being believed right now. And, you know, if a person is in your perception, believing themselves to be mentally ill, and you don't make a problem, make that problem out to be something real in your own perception, that's very helpful. You may not see the effects of how helpful it is, but it's very helpful. Nothing is happening. Is mental illness and effectual rape, betrayal, trauma? And is it where she needs to look? Yeah, it's just the idea that this is happening at all. That this is even happening. Any part of it. The idea of mental illness, the rape, it's all a memory. Memories are imprints. They didn't happen. None of this stuff occurs. That's what makes it easy. That's what makes it a magical experience, because nothing is happening. If something is happening, there are problems. Nothing happening, no problems. That's the way it works. And if the other person doesn't seem to be able to recognize that nothing's happening, you recognizing it for them does it. Okay? What are these drugs trying to stabilize? I have no idea, but you know, even the drugs are a projection of the mind. Even the drugs that seem to be given by other people are given to yourself. They're given as agents of the mind, supposed to do something. They're given the power of belief. Okay? They can't really have any effect. They can't really have any effect. And it's always the same you. It's always the same through you looking at all of the perceptions. Even the perception that you're mentally ill, it's a perception. watching a script play out. That's all. How do you use oils to help recondition the traumatic perception and penetrate into things to see? Okay, so for me, it's just a matter of recognizing that anything upset right now, any kind of upset right now, let it come to the surface. Okay? And then playing with the essential oils, smelling them, not trying to put something on them like they're going to do something. In a playful, loving, happy way, curious to see what happens. For me, nothing has to occur. It's all playful. Okay? Nothing really has to occur. That's how I use them. You said, how do you use them? That's, yeah, I guess like that. You know, in a bath, that's really nice. Handful of salt in a bath. And just like in an open space, watching, relaxing, nothing needs to happen. Everything is coming right on time. Anything you would like to relate with, join with, you can say, join with. That's one thing about essential oils. It's intelligence. It's plant intelligence. So it's also the mind in the relating, okay? In the relating. Not as if essential oils have something that they can do something to you, but in the relating, it's like there can be an openness to the mind as seen through the perspective of these plants. And it's a relating, it's like a communicating, more like a communicating than an idea of this thing's going to do something to me. Although I can say that when I notice any kind of odor, like on a hot day or something like that, and it just gets a little like that, some essential oil like that, especially frankincense, it's really thin and lovely. Just dousing it right on. It seems to have the effect of freshness. Apparently, they say there's it's something like antimicrobial. I don't know. Sure, it says so somewhere on our website. But you know, in giving it that power of belief, and giving the frankincense that power of belief, it seems to have that effect. It seems to have that effect of freshening. Even in that, what seems, don't believe the evidence. Even the good evidence. It's okay. You don't have to believe it to still have fun with it. And that's just like future thinking. You don't have to believe it to still have fun with it. It's fun. You're playing with magic. Magic tricks. When you're playful with it, you don't mind whether it seems to quote unquote work or not. Even the intention, it's an automatic thing. It's a program. You can observe the intention. You can notice what it is, but you yourself can't change it. It changes on its own based on the choice you make, whether to see what you perceive as truth or recognize it as illusion. Okay. To convince my mind that it's all done. Yeah, you don't need to convince your mind of anything. Just, you know, the demonstration of the truth, it occurs through that one choice that I always talk about, the choice between heaven and hell, you can say, truth or illusion. You can even say love or fear, but it's not really in the words though. It's in recognizing when things seem real, which is really often. You can just start with the more intense ones if you want, if you haven't started already. Noticing what is making itself, holding itself out as if it's real. And that's why you should be, I don't know, upset, ashamed, unhappy, disgusted. It's holding itself out as if it's real. So one of my friends said, oh, what was she talking about? How the men are all a certain way. The men are all, I forgot what it was. Some kind of overly masculine or something like that. And whatever way we say things are, that's the way they are to us. That's just in the perception. It's just something that's passing. It's like something that's offered, and it's like, okay, okay, then I'm gonna go along with that since I heard it. There is this desire to heal the symptoms. Yeah, well, the desire to heal the symptoms is like a distraction from allowing you to be with whatever it is. You can look at it as childbirth, you know. I was told by midwives that a lot of women in their transition, which is the really painful part, they want to run away. They're like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this pain anymore. But, you know, it's not going to work out for them because something's going on. You know, a baby's coming out one way or another. Or not, who knows. But the desire to heal the symptoms is kind of like symbolically like the desire to stop the birthing process. Don't let it come to completion. See, the symptoms will present themselves as having been healed when they've, you could say, run their course, but not in a physical way. They have to have delivered the message that they came to deliver. You know, you might get it to go away for a little bit, or, you know, have the appearance that you got it to go away for a little bit. You can't even really do that. That's like a magic trick that you got it to go away, but it's always coming back. That's the thing. It might come in another form. There's countless forms it can come in, but it's the same kind of feeling sensation. It's the same kind of energetic frequency projection that will keep on coming back, and those are the symptoms. So the desire to heal the symptoms is like trying to get out of it early. Trying to get out of it without using it for what you meant to use it for. How do you relate to the symptoms? Is that what you're asking? It says, how do you relate to it? Or the desire? Well, you know, they're both illusions. The desire and the symptoms, they're the same. They're the same thing. They are both illusions. The symptoms are always tied to all kinds of programs of thought that reveal themselves when you're not distracted by the desire to heal the symptoms. So how do you undistract yourself? Well, you don't really do anything. You just recognize that you are every time being distracted by your desire to heal the symptoms every time that arises. And you know, it's not even your desire really, it's desire, and you're attracted to that thought that you want to heal the symptoms. You might be going online looking for all kinds of solutions and stuff, and that's not really the kind of healing that you want to get from it ultimately anyways. Okay. Can you speak of your experience of death? Well, I can't really say I've had an experience of death. You know, for me, like, death is oblivion. I had the perception, yeah, death is, let's put it this way, death is oblivion, and oblivion is a thought. No oblivion. Okay. Let's make that clear. So I haven't experienced oblivion. Yeah. So there was an experience, or you could say a perception of the body feeling like it's dying, sensing like it's dying, the sense of dying. Basically, there's no death, there's a sense of dying. Like if you wouldn't be sensing it if there was dead. The sense of dying, and the fear that came up around dying and seeing that it was just nothing. The fear around dying was unfounded. When the fear around dying is unfounded, then there's no reason to defend yourself. All the defensiveness is a fear of dying. And you don't have that. There's no need to defend yourself. And when there's no need to defend yourself, you're not affected by any kind of so-called trauma perceived going on with your own body or with another body or with minds that seem to be projecting them at you. It's just all it's all allowed to be part of the play. It's all just allowed to be part of the play because there's nothing there that needs to be protected anymore. The healing doesn't depend on my effort. Yes. Yay. Yay. So here's how it works. You know, when I get the perception that I've got something, I don't know, let's say a yeast infection. I got something and then it's like it's not really there. I know that it's not really there, like as a hardcore thing that I have to do something to. So in my mind, the idea of maybe an essential oil, like I've had Helichrysum at 10% before, and it's been really good, Helichrysum italicum. The idea of something comes, but it's not like that's just like taken as if that's what's going to take it away. It's more like a playful, just seeing what, not looking for the cure, but seeing what comes, watching what comes. And even if I find myself by not looking, it's not a physical thing. Don't get caught on the physicality kind of perception on that. Because even if you find yourself typing on a computer looking for a cure, you know, in your heart, watch. From your heart, you could say, watch any kind of attachment to getting the cure. There's this getting kind of attachment thing. And that is not the purpose of the play. Even the play of researching about it. It's okay. It's recognizing the purpose of everything. It's recognizing the purpose of everything. The purpose to see through all these different projections of separation that are coming out. It's awesome and really fun. So yay, I'm so happy I get to share with you. Thank you for being here. Yay. Anyone who has questions, please feel free to raise your hand, or you can write to me. So what is guilty? What is guilty? Well, of course, nothing is guilty. But what are these guilty projections all about? And where are they coming from? There's a sense that you become separate from God. And that's hidden. It's hidden by the world. That sense, it's like it's buried in the world. Okay? It's a guilty feeling. To yourself in the dream, you want to look innocent. So the guilt gets projected. It gets projected on your body. as if it's too fat, too thin, not healthy enough. The body is nothing. Oh, mahalo. The body is nothing. It's meaningless. Okay. And so are other bodies and all the things and, even the government, everything like that. If you find yourself saying or thinking that something is responsible or someone is responsible for the way you feel, good or bad, that's a guilty projection. Okay. If your success or failure depends on circumstances or people in your mind, that's a guilty projection. There are no people. There are no people. There might be people that seem to be helping you. Maybe they're your employees, maybe they're friends, maybe you're in a joint venture together. But they're also a projection. This is not occurring. It's all just imagined. So with willingness to recognize that no problem is allowed to make itself into a problem for you because it's a perception. Immediately that makes a problem funny. Problem, comedy. Because the problem presents itself as if it's true. But since it's in the perception and we know that the perception itself isn't true, then it's like, false though. I know it looks serious. I know it looks like this is a big deal, but it's also false. It's also a play. The truth, it being called the truth, plus recognizing that it's false, equals comedy. There's nothing there that can stick to you. There's nothing there that can stick to your energy field. If something's sticky, that's a guilty concept. Like, say you stub your toe. It's not like you need to walk better or take care of that thing. You don't need to do anything different. Just stubbing your toe is also a guilty projection. Projecting over it makes it as if it really happened. It happened to you. Any kind of pain is a guilty projection. So making it as if that was caused by something that it's not, that's what supports those projections. That's what supports more projection. More projection, basically more projections means stretching out time, making time go longer. It doesn't mean it gives you a longer life or makes your lifetime go slower, but it gives you more illusions in time. It seems to take longer the imagination of waking up. Many people in relationship, especially long-term relationship, accumulate different, you could say, grievances for one another. It'll be subtle, especially for them if they're not looking. It's going to be subtle. Just get a bad feeling about your partner and hide it from yourself. And then eventually people get split up or just get into a very sour relationship. This keeps on getting more and more sour. They keep on holding more daggers for each other, which are really for themselves, till eventually it's like they just have to separate. Separation can still happen, like the appearance of bodies separating can still happen, but it doesn't have to happen from that sense of, get them away from me. Because it's like they're birthed in you, in your mind. That's a interpretation for you. It's just an interpretation of your mind's fantasies. It's one interpretation for you to play with your partner. If you happen to have a partner, you could substitute a close friend or a child or whatever, your cat, whatever, really close to you. If they seem to be capable of doing anything in your mind, ask for clarity on that. They seem to be capable of doing anything in your mind because that's what says you are capable of doing something. That's also a guilty projection. So if they're capable of doing something and then you're holding something against them for the way they do that certain thing, which is only your own projection, your relationship grows sour. People end up talking mean to each other, stuff like that. And you may have the perception of someone close with you, like I did this past weekend, telling you about all of their grievances that they're holding for you. And if you're not holding any, you're not going to have anything to defend. But if you're also holding grievances for them, then that energy will play like that. Like, I didn't do it like that, or well, you did that. I did that because of you, whatever. So, if you are holding grievances, it will cause you to perceive yourself acting out like in a defensive or accusatory manner, which is just to project guilt back. And that's okay too. It's just a matter of seeing it, recognizing what's going on there. When you recognize what's going on there, more and more the fear of it gets dissolved. And when the fear of it is dissolved, then you can be in the feeling of it. It just all comes down to this instant. What are you feeling and what are you perceiving? Especially knowing that it's not real, it gets to be really fun. It could be the most vile kind of accusations you can think of, and it's just okay. It's fun because you could still demonstrate love in the midst of what seems to be a problem. Like, wow, if I didn't realize that the perception wasn't true, I'd probably be crying all weekend. But since there's a recognition there that it's not really occurring, nothing's happening, it's just occurring in consciousness, then it becomes, for creative play, it becomes fun. It's like, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like me to know? What now? Okay, what now? When you get that nothing's happening, you can receive any kind of perception. You can receive any kind of perception in a playful manner. And who knows how that'll go? There aren't any formulas for it. A no thank you is the best thank you there is, because the no thank you to engaging this energy as if it's real. See? Anything that says something negative about you, if someone tells you something negative about you, or positive for that matter. But, when people are telling you something negative about you, they're looking for a particular reaction. They're looking for a defensive stance. They're looking for you to project guilt back to them. And that's what That's the kind of energy where there's a no thank you to that. But it's with a smile, though, because it's also a thank you for letting me know. It's also a willingness to be with that perception. Having the perception that someone else has the perception that you are deficient, guilty, wrong, bad, horrible person, whatever it happens to be. Having the perception of a person having that perception of you is actually very funny. Actually very funny. They may not see that it's funny in the instant, but that doesn't mean it's not funny. You may not see it as funny in the instant. That doesn't mean it's not funny. You don't have to pretend that it's funny. It wouldn't hurt to have faith that it's funny, though. If you have faith that it is indeed funny, then that will be shown to you. Through the process of imagination, that will also be shown to you. Hooray! If it's not true, it's funny, and all perception is not true. So, you know, what a lot of people would do is take it as if someone saying that stuff about you must mean something about yourself and let you get into some kind of tailspin of delusion. It must mean something about you, or they must be wrong for thinking that way. They're not wrong for thinking that way because they're not really capable of thinking any particular way. Actually, you guys agreed for that. You guys agreed for that interaction to occur. You and them agreed to it. That's one way of looking at it. You're of the same mind. That's how that's possible. You're of the same mind. The mind is projecting. It's amazing, all-powerful, and innocent. The projection is just acting out a fall from innocence. It's an act of a fall from innocence and a return to innocence. All within the perception of the eternally innocent mind. Woo! Excuse me. What happens when there's no projecting is just being, and which is heaven. The mind is also a heavenly place. It's just that a part of our awareness is focused on a dream of separation. You could say separation from the innocent mind. The creation, the thought of you as being separate from the innocent mind. It's not possible. The only thing that makes you feel separate is a thought of separation. Everything that you perceive in the world is a symbol of that, made in a lot of different ways to make it seem like the world is indeed real. Okay. Everything that seems to be a problem or upsetting or anything of the sort can all be attributed to the only one problem that you think you made, the problem that you think you separated yourself. You think you separated yourself. You didn't separate yourself. All this evidence is coming at you because you think you separated yourself. Even the feeling in the body of being cold which is a perception that arises for me very often. That sense of being cold. It's also a sense of separation. It doesn't mean I don't like get a jacket or, you know, it's not that I have a choice in that or anything, but you know, if I don't need punishment. I don't need punishment. If you feel like you need punishment, you'll find yourself suffering from the cold. Instead of, ooh, it's cold, put some slippers on, or whatever. Or it's cold, damn, I don't have anything to be cold with. Okay, oh well. You know. Yeah, it's winter there. See, that's the thing, though. You know, is it really cold in Hawaii? Well, you know, no, it's not really cold anywhere. Really isn't. Yeah, it would say, you know, there's the story that your body adjusts to acclimates to wherever you are. You know, there's the illusion that that's occurring. And there's contrast. That's how it is in the perception. There's an illusion that things are occurring, and there's contrast. There's all these kinds of different ways to be uncomfortable in the body, where the prime objective of almost everything, every thought becomes how to get more comfort in the body. Basically, a judgmental thought is looking for comfort in the body, thinking that judgment is the way. Only the body makes the world seem real and separate. That's why the body can't exist in eternity. Yeah. So there's no need for it. The body is completely made for perceiving a sense of separation. It's for perceiving a sense of separation. The sense of separation gets lighter and lighter as it's seen for what it is, as it's seen as a sense of separation and not as proof of separation. So if you defend any kind of accusation, you're taking that accusation as proof, as evidence that separation is real, and that's why you feel like something needs to be defended. It comes down to fear of death. Death to the self-image, who you're protecting, who you're projecting yourself to be. So hooray, everyone. If anyone would like to talk with me, please raise your hand. Yay, mahalo. Oh, there's Yulia with her sweet hand popping up. Aloha. Yay, Yulia.
Hey, Hope.
Hooray! Thanks for coming.
Aloha. Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, like, gosh, I can't ask anything because I kind of know the answer to everything, it seems.
I know you do. Isn't that fun? You just like to hear it come out of my mouth because that's fun for you.
Yeah, that helps. I like that.
I get it. Well, I have fun. I have fun being used in that way.
Oh, I love it. I
love it. I love it. So go ahead.
So here's something that popped up. The concept of God.
Yeah.
I feel like I still have a bit of a reaction to it because I grew up kind of without having that concept. And then, like, as you know, I became a teenager and adult, I started getting interested in it, and I kind of trying it on me. You know, I went through religion and this and that, and then I kind of could formulate what I think about this concept now. But in terms of speaking how we separate ourselves from God, is there something to separate from?
No.
Why? Because, like,
no, there's not.
It seems like in the history of humanity, yeah, there's always, like, the God was always like the something separate that's not us, me. So that like I have a bit of a reaction to that.
So who you take yourself, who you take as yourself, you know, as you take yourself. That's a thought. So that's a thought. Who you take as yourself in the dream. Let's say that. That's a thought that denies the thought of God, denies the thought of truth. And that's what makes it seem like it's separate. It's something that's set in time, that's mortal. That's why there's no separation is impossible. That's a thing.
Right, but separation from why say God if there's no God that's not everything else?
Okay, so you could say mind then. Separation from the mind. So it's like there's a thought in the mind, there's a thought of you in the mind, a creative thought of you. And as that creation, you thought yourself to be separate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then made a projection of yourself. So who you perceive as yourself, it's all a thought, it's all thought projection.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coming, it's like distorting, it's like disfiguring the pure innocent thought of which you were created.
Yeah, I heard this or read this one definition in Tantra that I kind of liked, where they talk about contracted awareness.
Yes, that's a good way of looking at
itself.
Yes, exactly. It's like it's taking all the beauty and glory and holiness that you are and putting veils over it, so to speak. And making it seem as if it did separate yourself from your source.
And I like how you always follow that with saying, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's it.
I love that.
That's it. Because it's all for leading yourself back. You know, it's all done for leading yourself back. Ultimately, even the ego is imagined. You know, the ego needs to be imagined in place to actively work to tempt you with thoughts, to hold the illusion in place.
Yeah, and the closest concept to describe that is it's all done for fun, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, and it's all for fun. You'll see that it's fun. You'll see that it's fun when you get less and less identified with it, as if you're an illusion within the illusion, as if you're like one of the images that you perceive in the illusion.
Yes, and when you also realize that whatever is perceived as heavy or suffering was also for fun.
Yes.
Kind of like you watch a horror movie for fun,
yep.
Because why else would you watch it, you know?
That's right. Why else would you make it? You might not think that kind of stuff is fun, but it's fun. You know, from the perspective that's not holding yourself out as if you're an illusion within an illusion. All that is fun because all of it is for your expression. The whole purpose of it all is for your expression. And eventually that expression is going to demonstrate the truth to the mind, and there's going to be no more dreaming. You'll wake up from dreaming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, something else that's fun. Remember how I used to complain about my kids?
Yeah.
I've just kind of had this mild little realization. Not that I didn't observe it before. I just think I saw it a little more clearly. How I am really constantly feeling guilty myself about the same things that I think are wrong about my kids. And of course, none of that is a problem either, and it's all for fun too, and it's not real.
Exactly that, and see, it allows you to look at that square in the face when you realize that even that is for fun. That's why you're hiding it from yourself and projecting it on your kids, because you thought it was bad. You know, and you didn't want to look at it yourself, so then you're projecting it, and then you start to look at what's going on, and you realize that was actually a projection about you, and then that makes it even funnier.
Mm-hmm. and then I add layers to it because now I'm thinking, oh wait, now I understand that, but if one of my kids comes back to live with me and they're my parents don't understand that, so they're gonna like interfere. So all that is also the same kind of thing, imagining my parents, imagining that they are somehow a problem or
Yeah.
separate from me or the kids.
Yeah, that's always really fun to perceive someone as a problem.
Or that they're somehow wrong because now that I see it, then they don't, and now I have to do something about it.
Yeah, so that's another thing to see through.
Right.
Is that idea that they're doing it wrong, or that that's going to be a problem, or that they can somehow interfere with you or anything, because it's all the same. It's all equal. No one can be a threat to you. No one's going to be a problem. That's not possible. It's always a symbol of the same problem. Multiple symbols of the same problem always coming up.
How fun.
I know. When you realize it's all the same problem, it's not a problem anymore to see the effects of it.
Yeah, that's why you can't really ask a question about anything in a way.
I love it, but it's so much fun that you come on and talk about it.
I love it too.
Yeah, I love it.
And I love hearing it over and over.
Yes, well, that's it. That's
I listen to you almost every day. I just listen to recordings because I like to be reminded that way.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I love that. I love that to be joining with you like that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So unless anyone else would like to ask a question or ask me to talk on anything, then I'm going to be winding it down, closing it out. Hooray. So, yeah. Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Hawaii time. That changed for you guys. It changes twice a year. Changes for you guys over there on the mainland. When your time changes, our time does not change. So, yay. Wisdomdialogues.org. That's where you can see all the videos and you can listen every day, just like Yulia does. Yay, Yulia.
Yay. Lucky me, I have it.
Yay. Aloha, Lori. Thank you so much for all your contributions to Wisdom Dialogues. You guys are so awesome. I appreciate everyone who's on, everyone who asks questions, all of you who listen. Thank you so much. And if you'd like
to say thank you to Lori too, please. I love listening to your long dialogues with Lori. Like Lori asks all the questions for everyone.
That's so wonderful.
I love that.
I know, she's such a sweetheart. Thank you, Lori. And yeah, everyone who joins with spirit of love. Everyone who comes, thank you so much. I love you. Yay! Constance says yay to Lori too. Everyone loves you, Lori. You knew that. So if you'd like to come on with me live, go to Facebook.com/groups/Wisdom Dialogues. If you'd like to check out the essential oil company that was founded by me and is now family run, me and my daughter. Yay, my daughter Akea. And a team. We have a sweet team of people. It's miraclebotanicals.com. And for my Wisdom Dialogues people, I'll let you know in advance that we're going to have 10% off site-wide this coming 2018 Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Isn't that fun? Yay, and I have fun newsletters. I just wrote one on frankincense. I collaborated with another girl that's in our office. She's really cute and fun. And it's called Frankincense. Yeah. It's about giving the gift of frankincense. And, I share one of the experiences of giving a gift of frankincense in there. Really unexpected, really fun. So you can sign up for my newsletter and also get the free ebook download of how to use essential oils. It's kind of like an intro to essential oils. On any page, I think. Just enter your email and the little pop-up that comes up. Okay? That's fun, huh? Thank you. And I think that's it. So I love everyone. Aloha until next week. Ahui ho.